Hey everyone, it's been over 2 minutes and I haven't been raped yet. Probably because we don't live in a rape culture. Hi, I'm Diana Davison, and I need to conclude my video series on the trial transcripts of Jian Ghomeshi. There's only one complainant left that hasn't been covered, and she's now the only one with a publication ban on her name. Which is funny because this particular woman, whose name may or may not rhyme with Smurfy Smurfette, has been all over social media, engaging with the public, continuing to state that Mr. Ghomeshi is guilty. Well, Smurfy, you've had your day in court and admitted to lying and misleading police. So basically, shut the fuck up about it. You are a disgrace. Smurfy lied to journalists, lied to police, and only avoided lying to the court by finally admitting she'd lied. So I'll get to the details of that next week. For now, I want to talk about the misuse of media to destroy a person's life with immunity. I've got very strong opinions about the right of journalists to publish anonymous allegations, especially when they accuse a private individual of a criminal offense prior to any police report being made. When a police report is made, the accused can be informed as to who is making the allegation, and they have a chance to accurately respond. The juggling act here is that I believe in unfettered free speech, and that freedom of the press is of particular importance. I also believe that a person has the right to be free of slander and gossip, and should have the ability to respond to such with equal effect. By this, I mean it's not a fair fight when a national news organization, publishes a scandalous story and the target has no ability to respond in a meaningful way. In the Jian Ghomeshi case, we're not looking at a case where he could battle it out with his accusers in a fair playing field because the accusations were of indictable offenses, so the power of the state to incarcerate him hung over his head the moment the allegations were made. Additionally, almost all of his accusers remained unnamed, so he didn't even know who he was fighting. Neither did the public. In the case of Smurfy Smurfette, the only reason we found out that she was full of shit is because she went to police and Jian was able to provide his evidence against a known assailant in court. If she hadn't gone to police, he may never have even known who this idiot was. I know who she is, and she is most certainly a malicious coward with no moral compass. Hi, Smurfy. I know you're watching. You see, Miss Smurfette has already sicked the police on me in the past. She initiated contact with me on Twitter and then told police that I was harassing her. Even worse, she used a pseudonym account, so I didn't even know that I was talking to her. I'm not the only one she's done this to. Apparently, the Toronto police have agreed to be Smurfy Smurfette's pony boys for the rest of her life, running to her aid whenever she's losing a fight on Twitter. But I can't tell you her name or anything that might help you figure out who this loser is, even though she continues to waste police time and resources, public resources, because of a publication ban that this woman is abusing. So Smurfette prefers the court of public opinion, where for some reason we're willing to hear accusations from anonymous people instead of treating them as the cowards they are. Additionally, she continues to taunt the public while barring us from revealing her identity through the power of the state, which apparently has no control over her and no willingness to charge her with public mischief. So before I get into the video discussing her testimony in court and cross-examination, I want to clear the air a bit. I discovered the identity of this woman, whose name may or may not rhyme with Smurfy Smurfette, independently. I was not at the Ghomeshi trial. I was not told her name by someone who was at the trial. If I was to publish her name, it would be information not obtained from that trial. There is a very interesting trial coming up regarding publication bans, and I'm going to be watching it with interest. The outcome could be very significant in how publication bans are applied in the future. An entity called Frank Magazine has recently been charged with violating a publication ban. The information they published regarding an upcoming murder trial in Canada was published the morning before the ban was issued, and the information was obtained independently. They are fighting the charges, and I hope they win. In fact, I'm counting on it. There are 2 Frank magazines in Canada. The one in question is the Halifax-based Frank, and I encourage you to support both versions. They are incredibly clever. So I cordially invite you to take an interest in the trial of Andrew Douglas, editor of Frank magazine and noble knight for freedom of the press. Link to this article below. Put this on your Google alerts. On July 11th, Frank published a story online. The preliminary hearing in Garnier's murder trial, that's the accused in this case, was held on the same day that the Frank story appeared online. The story also appeared in Frank's print edition of July 13th. At the preliminary hearing, a publication ban was imposed on certain information introduced at the hearing, apparently including some or all of what appeared in Frank's article. Halifax Regional Police launched an investigation that day, according to a police statement, and notified Douglas of the charge on July 26th. Douglas, however, told JSource he didn't get the information from the preliminary hearing, which he said he did not attend, nor was it given to him by someone who did attend the hearing. He said his story was based on a leaked document sent to him 3 or 4 weeks before the hearing. He also said that the story was posted online at 9:30 or 10 o'clock a.m. on July 11th, before the publication ban had been imposed, and that Frank's July 13th print edition was coming off the press at Advocate Printing in Pictou, Nova Scotia, even earlier that morning. So follow this case, because it could be a game changer. Let's go back now, though, to looking at bans on the names of sexual assault complainants and the purpose of the ban, one that interferes with the transparency of our justice system. As the Toronto Star reported in 2014, the bans were implemented to encourage women who have been sexually assaulted to come forward and to protect them from the stigma and humiliation that would result from widespread publicity. But 30 years on, in the internet era, where salacious stories of alleged sexual abuse are shared with millions around the world, the bans are starting to be questioned by both victims and alleged aggressors. With only one name and face to report in the media, criminal defense lawyers say the publication bans impede the presumption of innocence because their clients get convicted in the court of public opinion before their trial ever starts. This is an important discussion, and I think we should call it the Smurfette effect, after our not esteemed friend. Publication bans for sexual assault complainants are intended to A. encourage women to report assault to the police, and B. protect the complainant from public exposure. Publication bans cloud the transparency of our court system and are only meant to be used when necessary to maintain a right to a fair trial, especially where a jury is involved, and to protect minors. The ban on sexual assault complainant names is not intended to encourage women to report to members of the press. The complainants in the Ghomeshi scandal interfered with the police investigation by going to the press. You can't have similar fact evidence when all the so-called similar facts were broadcast in the media every day. The only reason these women went to police was because the public finally told them that if their story was true, they should go to the police instead of just talking smack to the media. Yes, this should have actually been step number 1. If a crime had actually happened, go to the police. But I'm going to add something here. If you go to the media, you don't get a publication ban because you made a choice to directly engage with the public. That's me, the person reading the media. When you talk to the media, you are talking to me, and I want to know who the fuck I'm talking to. That Kevin Donovan and Jesse Brown of the Ghomeshi scandal let Ghomeshi's accusers hide behind their coattails does not impress me. They fashion themselves white knights and protectors of women. Well, that's disrespectful. If these journalists think that women are equal, then tell them to grow a set of balls and put up or shut up. But they didn't, because journalists are desperate for a headline. Anonymous sources are now the norm. Anything goes. Donovan and Brown trampled on the ethic of avoiding anonymous sources. They're two of the worst offenders, and they do it because they have no ethics. Journalistic ethics were designed to protect the credibility of journalists and journalism as a whole. Until they start enforcing these ethics again, you might as well scribble something on toilet paper while you're taking a dump and just call it news. So on to the court of public opinion, because that's where cretins like Smurfy Smurfette feel more comfortable. Because it's a place where we just #believe. The playground with the court of public opinion is not one with rules, unlike a courtroom. There are no rules of evidence. The jury, the general public, is left to their own devices to weigh evidence, and they're not forced to sit in a room with each other until they come to a unanimous decision. That the jury, the public, has no evidence blocked from their view is actually kind of a positive thing. Courts disallowing evidence is an insult to the public. No matter how outrageous the evidence, all a jury needs is good advice on how to measure what they're hearing or seeing. False accusers love the internet. #victim, #Tumblr, #social justice. But you know what they don't get in the court of public opinion? They don't get publication bans. I'm going to cover the final accuser in the Jian Ghomeshi trial, and I'm going to be doing that under bizarre circumstances. She is currently running around spreading lies and slander. I can't tell you what I know about her because she'll have her slaves at the Toronto police threaten to arrest me. She can say whatever she wants to me, but if I respond, she'll have her thugs at the Toronto police threaten me again. Do I want her silenced? No. I want the right to respond. I want the right to publish. So that's my video for today. And Smurfy Smurfette, you're lucky they didn't charge me with violating a publication ban. That would not work out very well for you. I'm with Frank Magazine. I'd fight it all the way. I've got no patience for liars and frauds.